Manish ji, can you switch on your video? Mr. Saurabh Tomar?
It's okay, sir.
Manish is also there. No?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Are we audible, sir? Good evening, all of you. Can you hear us?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. We are audible. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Thank you. First of all, sorry, actually, because of certain meeting, it got delayed for half an hour. Probably, I think last 2-3 times also there was change in program. Respected ED Shri Ashwini Kumar sir and Mr. Shri Saurabh Tomar ji, who is head UPI and IMPS NPCI, who is the guest speaker for today's meeting. The valuable customers, my fellow general managers at corporate office, head office, and field general managers, zonal managers, and my dear colleagues who are attending this webinar through physical mode as well as virtually. As a very warm evening to all of you, as we all are aware that our country is celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, which is it started in March 21, and it is a 75-week program. In this 75-week program, it will close on the August 23. So, as all of us aware that on June 6th, the Prime Minister of India has inaugurated the iconic week for the Ministry of Finance as well as Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Apart from that, there are a couple of iconic weeks, non-iconic weeks, anchor months, non-anchor months. For Indian Bank, anchor month was in March. Again, we have in August. So there are a lot of programs have been scheduled during this 6th June to 12th June, which is an iconic week for the DFS also. We had the Walkathon yesterday. We had the various outreach program all over the country. Apart from that, we have the various other programs. Even the awareness week, vigilance awareness week was celebrated yesterday. Apart from that, we are tomorrow also we are having one webinar, and today we are having the webinar on digital banking awareness. As far as our bank is concerned, Indian Bank has already started embarked on the digital transformation journey through a project Wave, and bank has already launched one end-to-end journey PAPL, personal approved, the pre-approved personal loan, which was launched in April 22, and bank has already done business more than 100 crore in this segment. And we are going forward. We are again launching a couple of journeys which are straight through in the coming days. Apart from that, we are already on the process of onboarding omni-channel vendor and digital lending platform. Shortly, we'll be coming up with this the other straight through process journeys, and the bank is taking a lot of initiatives for promoting digital payments. As part of ECM celebration, as we already told, this is again in continuation to that. And we have with us Mr. Saurabh Tomar, who is the head of UPI and IMPS, National Payment Corporation of India, is our guest speaker for today's webinar on digital banking awareness. He has over 18 years of experience in setting up the channels and improving the sales and productivity, strategic alliance and enterprise business. He is handling revenue and business development in B2C and B2B segment retail, banking, insurance. He is also driving digital products such as UPI and IMPS product development and branch management. He has extensive experience in BFI segment and worked in ING Vaishya, ICICI Lombard, Bajaj Allianz, GI. On my behalf and on behalf of the entire Indian Bank family, I welcome Shri Saurabh Tomar for sparing his valuable time in spite of his hectic schedule and accepting our invitation for today's webinar on digital banking awareness. I'll request Mr. Manish, who is General Manager Bombay, who is there, to welcome with a bouquet to Mr. Saurabh Tomber.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Manish ji. Now I'll request our ED, Shri Ashwani Kumar sir, to give the inaugural address.
Thank you very much. GMs in corporate office, ZMs, FGMs, other staff members, and our guest speaker, Mr. Tomar from NPCI. A very good evening to all of you. Well, as you all know, that we are now currently celebrating iconic week of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav uh, under the ambit of our Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, from 6th June to 12th June. On 6th June, we attended the program launched by our Honorable Prime Minister, and then we had one webinar about the Vigilance Awareness Week, Vigilance Awareness under this program. Now, today, we are having a webinar on digital banking awareness, and wherein our special guest, Mr. Tomar, head UPI, IMPS, and PCI, will be delivering his address and giving you the insights, the way the things are happening at NPCI and what new things are coming up. Well, just to give a background, that post-pandemic, there has been a shift from traditional banking to digital banking. More and more people have adopted digital channels because safety of the customers, people were not willing to come out. They want to do all transactions sitting at home, maybe because that time uh, distance norms were also there and the COVID was at its peak. But that was one part that has initiated over a period of time. Now, I think the way the digital has picked up, I think Mr. Tomar will be sharing with you the data, the UPI transaction data, and the magnitude of the transactions and the volume that is picking up every day. And in our banking also, we are witnessing that there are lot many new projects we are launching one after the other. First, we have launched that about our digital journey, the entire platforms, our liabilities, our assets, we are digitizing. We are going for the omni channel also, then operating model also, and in the times to come, we will be going for the CRM also. So, a lot of happenings, and as a in the digital journey, the first product which we launched was PAPL. Everybody has seen the success in, I think, 1 month only. It is 1 month. We have already crossed 100 crore with 7,000 or 8,000 customers. So that's a big success by any standards, because none of the other bank in the industry has crossed 100 crore mark of PAPL in the first month itself. So that itself tells about the preference about the digital products amongst the customers currently. And another important thing, as we go ahead, as we go digitalize, then the accountability fears will also fade, because there will be rule engines, they will be taking care. So only one thing, we have to ensure the digital adoption first at our employee level, and then educate the customers and go back to the customers, engage the customers on that journey. For that, to take the benefit of the entire digital journey which we are planning, which programs which we are onboarding, first and foremost thing was that the customers are onboarded to the mobile platform. So that also we have initiated, and entire field has worked tirelessly in last 2 months, and this is the month where we'll be targeting. Will be reaching the targeted number of 1 crore customers onboarded on the mobile app, and that will be a big success, because we started our journey around 60 lakh. In March, we were at 60 lakh, and for years we have been doing that mobile adoption. We reached only up to 60 lakh. Now we'll be reaching up to 1 crore. Now the second step in that will be that we have to see that they are engaged. They are made active on the mobile app. So that will be another education series we have to take forward, so that people are more engaged and brought into the mobile adoption, so that our mobile active users increase day by day. So that will be second journey now. And currently we have been offering most of the available products through mobile. I think the last one we added was the broking business. Even today, any of our customers sitting at home, they can onboard, they have the demat account, they can subscribe to any of the mutual funds. So that was one part which was missing on our mobile app. That is also launched. Now the omni channel and everything will be coming. So that's a good amount of progress we are going to have. But for that, we need the participation of the entire Indian Bank team, so that whatever is the dream for the bank to take the entire bank to forward, the digital is the only way in the current scenario. So in this process, DPD and TMO has organized this webinar. So I welcome Mr. Tomar to this webinar series, and I also expect that my team, Indian Bank, will have the benefit of your experience over the years, and definitely they will be benefited with your address. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Mr. Saurav Tomar to share his experience with all of us.
Sure, sir. Am I audible?
You are audible, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, ED sir, for your kind words. And I think, very rightly mentioned that, yes, what is the, importance of the digitalization nowadays. And thank you, Mr. Bajaj, for your kind introduction, and Mr. Manish. And I'm so privileged to be here in this, iconic week of the Azadi Ka Mahotsav. And there are few moments where you feel proud that yes, you are associated with few things which is and where you are directly related. So Azadi Ka Mahotsav, wherein there are few things which we are very proud of and which is visible across the globe. That one thing is that is the digital payments. So the penetration of the digital payments across our country, the way it is going, it is phenomenal. In fact, our international team and our we ourselves getting a lot of requests and queries from the other countries that how can they activate the same atmosphere the way we have done in our country. So once again, thank you. And so we'll just start quickly with our presentation. But before that, and I'll fully agree with the ED sir, well, he says that there is no choice, but we all need to digitalize. And I think I start from this point that what are the, why the digitalization is important. So couple of points which are critical. One that more digitalization means more and more customers. So while the physical reach is always limited, however, the number of branches and the touch points of Indian banks are phenomenal. And this, if we'll create the digital channels, this will be added advantage for all of us. So that in that way we all get more and more customers, and that too 24/7. So any person can be onboarded quickly digitally, and that's what I've been told that the phenomenal app is being launched, wherein the more than a crore customer is being onboarded, more than 100 crore loan is being disbursed. Amazing. That's a great thing. Second best, why digitalization is important, because definitely it also enhance our efficiency. So the way we work, there is always a difference when system works and when people work. So this obviously increase the efficiency, the way we work, and reduces a lot of tax, turnaround time for the consumer queries and all that thing. And third, which is the most important part, it if we create our app simple, right? It always talks about the user friendly experience for our consumers, and I think that's the bottom line, that if apps are good apps always thinks about the customer, and that's the reason why the Indian Bank app is getting now more than a crore, more than crore customers. So user friendly experience which we can easily create on our apps. Fourth, I think that's the more of the futuristic, thing which we can do, because when we do, drive people to do a lot of transactions and onboarding via apps, we also get a lot of data, and that can give us a lot of insights, and our decisioning will start from these, data points. For example, if we can easily make out that one state is doing better versus other state, and what could be the possible reason, and we can peculiarly work on those gaps where what is happening there. So data is the great, as they say, data is the new oil slash gold. I think we must start using that data, and I'm very happy that the way Indian Bank has, started this journey. My relationship team and our relationship team keeps on sharing a lot of data with the banks, and so I think that's again a important part. Fifth part, which is important for the digital journey, is the cost efficiency. This brings a lot of cost efficiency in our operations, and the only bottom line for the digital journeys is the simple and this security. So three meta things which I would like to say: simple, secure, and fast. If anything which is simple coupled with the security and customer is having an amazing experience, a quick experience, I think that's all. So we have solved for it. Yeah. So that's all. I'll put it to start with. Here we have, I have just draw down a couple of slide which will give us some idea. So that's the thing: passion for the people and the payments. So Sumit, can we just a moment? Yeah. So as we all know that India is such a diverse country. So 22 major languages, 720 dialects. So that itself tells us the diversification in our country. So how and then we talks about the literacy rate in India, right? So in Kerala itself, one state is talking about 94% literacy, and then Bihar talks about the 64% literacy, and this has continued to grow. So we have done so why I'm telling you this, these are the points which gives us the critical rationale that why we need to move digital. So that's the population which is starting, which are the urban population. So since 1900 to 2021, so we grew around from 11% to 38%. Yeah, and these are the people who are, and it is expected to be 40% population by 2030. But I'm sure we will, India will reach much faster there. And then we have the world back home. So the wealth distribution in India is only 35 million household have 40,000 plus USD annual income, and that's the, so stay on the last slide. So and that's the bifurcation. So if you look at the bottom pyramid versus the hyper pyramid, so around 28 lakh, this is the some 1 year old figures. If you look at this, which talks about 40,000 USD dollars, that is equivalent to around 30 lakhs nowadays. But only 30 lakh people are having that income. So we can say the diversification and the data, what kind of insight it is giving us. Next. But the brilliant fact is that India is now hovering around 1.2 billion phones. And I think this is the common point, and which we all understood so well. So, and out of that, around 740 million phones are smartphone users, and around 450 million phones are non-smartphone users, ideally those that we call as a feature phones. So, and if we, so that's the common point. If we catch this, mobile phone as a common point, we can solve a lot of problems. Yeah. Then I'll start with the digital financial literacy, because everything, digital finance literacy talk, if we able to penetrate this effectively, we will take care of a lot of things. So this is a win-win situation for all of us. So, if we, so this also talks about how do we do this, and this is a cumulative work which all of us has to do, right? So we are talking about building the awareness of the digital payment methods, and I think Indian Bank is always forefronting, in creating those kind of awareness camps, and I'll give all the credit to the digital payment team and the senior leadership out there in the Indian Bank. But yes, nowadays I could, we are also observing that lot of focus on the digital side is happening, including with the fintechs. They are also creating a good use cases, because apps means all online business, and the online business, one important part is will always remain is the customer is the payments. If we will able to focus on the payments, we will always take care of this entire circle. Yeah. So this is so why the digital literacy in our country is important. Definitely, this talks about our citizens and our government policies, initiatives, and the digital financial option available for them, that what all things are there. So, as we speak, there are a lot of programs which even our people are not aware. And now, some time back, I was just watching one report wherein YouTube itself is carrying a lot of information, right, which is reaching now to the masses, and wherein they are learning and creating their own business just because of YouTube. So YouTube is just an example. I'm just sharing YouTube, WhatsApp, all those medias are now very prevalent, and people are using them. Yeah. And imparting knowledge of the one important part, which is now so critical, that how do we ensure that we imparting knowledge of the safety and the security while the digital payments and the digitalization is on the rise. The only one thing which we all need to take care of our client, that they should not be frauded against any of those, fraudster, data hacking, and all those things. So I think this is that security is gonna be important to watch, and that's what we at NPCI always take that pride, that every product or everything which we are making, that risk is in design. So we design product where the risk and the fraud and infosec is there. So from the day one. Yeah. And the relevance of the financial inclusion in the India's context is, if you look at, that's what the people does, in this. So saving, they do saving, they ask for credit, whether this is formal or informal. They definitely need insurance, whether this is health or life or crop insurance and all that thing. And definitely there are some payments, they do, whether it is cash or non-cash. So, and the major areas where these developments are happening, one is definitely political development, then economical, and then society. So all three pillars are impacting these habits of the consumers. But here are the some blocks. Yeah. So if we can able to handle these blocks, I think we as a country will be home. So very first is the malpractices. So while we talk about a lot of things are happening, and the fraud and all that things, which we need to be very vigilant of. As I mentioned earlier, simplicity gonna be the key, because more and more we want to be digital. That means customer now comparing each and everything with the best of the apps. And now when all the apps becoming the super apps, this is more or less more important for all of us, that we should always compete with the best apps which is available in our in the consumer's hand. So because for example, right now, couple of apps which were only selling X things, they are also doing payments. So, and the cross sell is the next wave. So the cross sell payment, because it becomes the day to day stuff. This keeps that apps alive in the consumer phone. So ease of transactions gonna be very, very important. We need to ensure that the secure environment slash the security has to be provided. And this also important, that how do we plan our manpower in this VUCA world. So while we are definitely planning for the digitalization and all that thing, lot of time what we also observe, that there is a diehard need for all of us to think digital tech as a first option. So we need to plan more and more manpower out there. And yes, too large volume of the transactions, if bank needs to be, or the institution must need to ensure that they are planning for next 5 years time. So if we plan things 100x or 500x from now, that means our planning is good. And definitely lack of planning, lack of financial literacy, it is not only for the consumer but also for the entire staff, whether it is branch staff and all that thing. Sometimes when we do some kind of reviews, what we observe, that the branch staff is also not aware of a lot of instrument which is being used in the digital journeys. So I think Indian Bank is taking care of all that thing via a lot of initiatives. But yes, this is one of the important hurdle which we all of us need to take care of. And last, which accounts are not operative. We have come across, in fact, in our UPI itself, we have seen around certain percentage of the accounts where the customer trying to integrate or the set up their PIN or the add their account in the UPI apps. Those accounts are inoperative because of the various reason. Because now we have the data, and bank is also having data. These are the quick opportunities which is available with us. We can quickly go back to these guys, open their, or activate these accounts again. So that is a golden opportunity, because one thing is sure, right now with virtual account opening and the digital journeys for the account opening and all that thing, customer is always having a lot of choices, wherein they might choose to open instant account in some other institute or some other bank. So we need to be very vigilant about it. So these are the key challenges, and I think this is the slide which I like the most, which talks about certain laws, and that is, one is this Sarnoff law, which is equals to V is equals to M. That means the value of network increases in the direct proportion to the size of the network. While if we'll talk about the Reed's law, it's talk about that how do we create platform under platform, platform under platform, and that everything which is working for us is creating a lot of innovations for us. So I think the future belongs to this category, and there where you will see a lot of fintechs and a lot of companies are working on. So I'm sure Indian Bank is also looking at all those things. So yeah, what are the drivers? So I've this is one thing which we keep on our mind, that how do we drive? So one is platform. So as Indian Bank is already moving towards making their app as a super app, and customer needs anything from 6 a.m. in the morning to till the time he or she sleeps. So how do I ensure that everything is available on our app, but with the simplicity? And also gives the flavor of that global versus the domestic, that yes, this is just not the domestic, and our app is at par with the best of app of the India, or best of app of the globe. That's what we are looking at. So, and one should look at. And second, O stands for the online. That means this is a great opportunity. E-commerce, our digital identities, our gig economy, our creator economy, these are the areas where we all need to be focused. And wallets, definitely this is coming more and more. So wallets and loyalty, cryptocurrencies, your stable coins, and now central bank digital currency, CBDC things are coming. So I'm not saying that I'm just giving you the heads up that what all things are happening in this current time, right? Yeah. So and then you're embedded. I think this is the time where you will see a lot of use cases coming with the embedded. So, for example, now I'm sure when we use, purchase a new car, you might see a lot of things are connected. So the cars are also having, internet in it, right? So connected cars are coming, which is giving you online music, which is giving you the lot of other features. And now they also start thinking that, hey, how can they also give the online payment? So while I'm driving, and if I want to pay something, can I pay something by my card, because I want to keep my expenses separate from my card versus and all that thing. So that, and then we have already launched our wearable program. So now on the Rupee on the Go program, you will see that people are now watching, wearing watches and all that thing, and the payments are happening. So I'm sure the business team might have, reached out to you. If not, they will reach out. And then definitely IoTs. So Internet of Things, another areas which we need to, which is, happening right now. Virtual worlds, neo banks, banking as a service, infrastructure and open data, and obviously the last thing which Indian Bank have just launched, which is buy now pay later. So buy now pay later is nothing but in our mind, it is our ability to give a facility to customer to pay, to purchase something at the time they need. Yeah, so I think if we can, create good lending products, or like give little bit tweeting in our overdraft or over, all those services, that's all in the same category. And definitely that is, the R stand for the real time. I think that's where the things are moving. Global trades and the money transfer and the remittances. So the UPI and the IMPS always are on the real time, and there where we fits. So these are the trends which are on, and these are the drivers which are available. So I'll just take a couple of minutes, I think, and just pause here, because this is important slide, and I'm sure, that scope for the innovation. So where we all look at, what is the next thing which is coming? So if you look at year on year, the relevance is changing and the implementation is changing. So payment via implants, consumer protection, DLTs, open banking, CBDC, and then you look at, your value added APIs, virtual currencies, payment APIs. I think payment APIs, here I just wanted to P2P payments, voice based payments. So NPCI has already taken this 123 pay, for which we will just see a video in some time. But if we can create one or two areas which is very highly focused for us, or for any bank, they can choose one or two, for example, mobile payment / payment APIs. So a lot of now fintechs want to join and they need a bank. And if we start acting as a API gateway for them, I think it's a great win-win situation for all. Yeah. So while the green triangle talks about the trends, and the blue circle talks about the regulation, that is the regulated initiatives which are on. So just taking a quick back, that what all has happened so far. So I'll not take much time, because we all are aware and we are working very closely. So this is UPI was the last year which was invented, wherein we have interoperable payments, P2P and P2M, and that's a slide which I will share with all of you to just to have a look. Yeah. So these are the various approaches which are available in the market. So product led approach, bank led approach, government initiatives, knowledge based approach, regulator led approach, and the technology based approach. And if we want to achieve as a holistically, how do we combine a lot of things, because we might not to do everything, because there are lot of things which regulator is doing, and we are so lucky that we are having so productive and the regulator with us, that they are thinking 2-3 steps ahead of the market. So I think that's all is there with us. Government is also very keen to drive the digital initiatives, and definitely banks at their individual level are driving a lot of initiatives, and which is helping all of us to achieve the financial inclusion out there. Yeah. So I'll just stop my, presentation with this last slide. So if you look at, this is the digital payment waves which is going on. So these are the front runners. If you look at, the auto pay. So how do we ensure that our customer, we have to give the, repeat payment so that the customer will always remain at the bank. And while I was doing the branch banking, I still remember, my senior have told me, if you want to ensure that your client is there, give them the best of the, service in the, and best of the things which will hook them. So now with this auto pay, if their EMIs are going, if their subscriptions are going with your account, wallets uploads are happening on your account, our CASA balance and everything will go up, and the customer will never leave that account. So I think auto pay, repeat payment, which is already available on the UPI auto pay and the RuPay side. And then there are tokenization, credit online, feature phone. So another thing which is coming, which is already happening, is the feature phone. So in the earlier slide, we have seen that around 450 million feature phones are available, and that's an opportunity which and a responsibility both for all of us to ensure that how do we get these guys into the financial digital inclusion, I'll say. So it is just not financial but digital inclusion, so that these people will also be part of the mainstream economy. And how do we do this? And that's a great opportunity, right? So, and at the same time, distributed services, your B2B solutions, assisted services, mobility, cross border, these are the things which are available. So, and the size which is available, that is, I have just created this thing from the payment lens. Obviously bank has their own, every bank has their own, priorities, but one thing is very sure, everything what we does is stops at the payment. Every business needs payment, and every human being needs payment, right? Every human being might not need loan, but every human being needs loan. So, payments. How do we ensure that we are available for each and everyone? And so that's the closing point which I want to put in. Now I just request a couple of videos which will also give us the glimpse that how we all are reaching out to the various people, under the various initiatives. And I'm very delighted to share that Indian Bank has participated with us in the two very critical initiatives, which is UPI Lite, which is as a pilot, and we have seen the first transaction is about to happen, and the e-Rupee solutions, which is being launched by the Honorable Prime Minister for keeping the various subsidies and the various coupon based programs. Yeah, so Indian Bank is there. I just wanted to play a couple of videos. So, but in the meanwhile, if anybody is having any questions or any doubt, feel free to please ask. Yeah, so Sumit, we can remove it.
400 plus million feature phones users in India. And today this huge untapped market is missing out on digital payment solutions. Keeping this in mind, RBI introduces feature phone based payment solutions, under which server-side common library has been created for making digital payments to include feature phone users across India to make digital payments. The advantage of feature phone based payment is that there is no dependency on internet connectivity, and users can choose their own preferred languages for making transactions. This payment solution is a true technology equalizer where both smartphone and feature phone users can enjoy the benefits of seamless digital payment on their own devices. Introducing UPI for feature phone 123 Pay. अब चुटकी में पेमेंट्स करो अपने feature phone से in 3 easy steps. Call, choose and pay. For onboarding, user needs to link their bank account with their feature phone. To make payment or transaction using their feature phone, the user needs to set their UPI PIN with the help of their debit card details, and it's done. This is Shrikant. He wants to transfer money to his friend He calls the IVR number and can proceed to pick from 5 options like money transfer, LPG gas refill, FASTag recharge, mobile recharge, EMI repayment, balance check, etc. He selects the money transfer option displayed on his screen. Then he selects his friend's mobile number and enters the amount he wishes to pay and enters the UPI PIN to authorize the payment. Similarly, Shrikant can pay to any shopkeeper. Shrikant will also have several feature phone-based payment solutions to choose from, and he can easily make digital payments like Shrikant can also make app-based payments on feature phones, or he can make payment using missed call payment facility by giving a missed call to the given number. Or he can make payments using a voice-based payment technology by tapping this feature phone on a voice-based device. Now the 400 plus million feature phone user can also enjoy the digital payment solutions to make digital payment. eRupee is another excellent initiative in the direction of digital payments. eRupee is a prepaid e-voucher developed by NPCI, that is National Payment Corporation of India, in collaboration with Department of Financial Services, National Health Authority, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, banks and aggregators. The idea behind eRupee is to invent a digital solution for cashless and contactless payments for services sponsored by government and private organizations. A solution that can ensure targeted and leak-proof delivery of services, minimal administrative cost along with simplification of distribution system. Let's know about eRupee. Person and purpose specific, this is an SMS or QR code based e-voucher which can be used only once. This voucher is cashless and contactless and is completely safe and secure. Voucher beneficiaries' personal information is completely confidential and secure. End beneficiary is not required to be a bank account holder. Government entities, corporates or any service sponsor with the help of their partner banks can generate eRupee voucher through NPCI. Upon receiving the eRupee voucher, the government entities or corporate or banks can distribute it to the beneficiaries. Beneficiaries can avail services by redeeming eRupee at the Service Provider Center. The Service Provider Center will scan the QR code or SMS received in the form of voucher. A verification code will be sent to the beneficiary's mobile number for verification of the beneficiary. Once the verification is done, the payment will be processed immediately. eRupee is a revolutionary step in providing easy services like subsidiaries, scholarship, electronic purchases, entertainment, vaccine, utility bills, etc. given by government or private institutions.
What is UPI Autopay? NPCI has launched UPI Autopay for recurring payments. Customer can now enable recurring payments using any UPI application for mobile bill, electricity bill, EMI payments, charity, entertainment or OTT subscriptions, insurance, investment or mutual funds among others. Advantages of UPI Autopay: hassle-free onboarding, uninterrupted service, uninterrupted payment cycle and streamlined revenue without follow-ups. Collect payment conveniently. Let's learn how to use UPI Autopay for charity. Open the app or website on which you wish to make a charity and click the Contribute button. Choose the scheme for which you want to make a charity. Enter the charity amount and choose the frequency and click the Donate button. Select Pay via UPI from the list as a payment mode. Next, select the Pay using UPI ID option and enter your UPI ID and click on the Pay button. You will receive a UPI Autopay mandate request on your UPI enabled app. Select the notification received to open the UPI enabled app. check the details of the mandate. Enter your UPI PIN to approve. Your mandate has been created successfully. UPI Autopay, powered by NPCI.
Meet Rajni, a 35-year-old urban home business owner. She owns an Aadhaar card and operates through her bank account for her business needs. She has started accepting payments via UPI for her business, but cannot pay via UPI as she does not have a debit card. One day at the market, she met her friend Shalini at a store. Hello Shalini, how are you doing? I am very well, how are you doing? Rajni, why are you paying via cash? Do you not have UPI? No dear, since I don't have a debit card, I have been unable to pay via UPI. Well Rajni, did you know you can now register with Aadhaar too? With over 125 crore Indians now having an Aadhaar card as a primary identification, NPCI has enabled the usage of Aadhaar cards alongside debit cards to register and empower citizens to use UPI as a mode of payment. You don't need to carry bundles of cash to shop anymore. Wow, that sounds amazing. But how can I use it? Sure, follow these simple steps to register. Download the Bheem UPI or any UPI enabled app. Select your bank. Choose to set a new UPI PIN on the UPI app. Select Aadhaar based verification. Accept the terms and conditions. Validate by typing the first 6 digits of your Aadhaar card. Once Aadhaar is validated, enter your new UPI PIN. Enter the OTP received on your registered mobile number with UIDI. The Aadhaar OTP is auto-read and validated by UIDI. Bank OTP is auto-read and validated by the bank. Now you can enter your PIN for UPI and confirm the same, and it's done. With this one-time validation and setup, you can use your UPI to make payments to any merchant across India. Thanks Shalini for making my day. UPI empowering payments to everyone.
So these are the 4 videos which we have played. So I'll just take one minute. 123 Pay is the for feature phones and for the smartphone where the customer is calling anyone, and these are the missed call based payments or the voice based payment, which works. E-Rupee voucher, as I mentioned, is the for specific purpose we can create those vouchers. Autopay, I think this is already live with the bank, and this is one feature which makes our customers to stay with us for the longer time. And Aadhaar OTP now, so UPI initially was not at Aadhaar, only depending on the debit card. So now Aadhaar, with this Aadhaar, customer can set up their UPI PIN, and that's all. So with this, I'm done. I just wanted to inform you that with all your support, we have last month crossed the value of around 10 lakh crores on the UPI, and thank you for all the support, and that's the power of digitalization happening in our country, and once again gratitude, and looking forward to have this digitalization journey on and on, and we will promise to give you and work with you more collaboratively so that we all can create more and more sustainable and secure solutions for the industry. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Saurav, for the nice presentation and the beautiful videos. And now I'll request Mr. Krishan Raj, who is the DGM Digital Banking Division, to pose vote of thanks.
Thank you, GM Mr. Bajaj, sir. Respected corporate office general managers, executives, respected FGMs, respected zone managers, branch managers, and various customers who are logged on to this event. At the outset, good evening to each one of you. And it's my privilege here on behalf of the Digital Banking Division to propose the vote of thanks on this beautiful program on the occasion of the ACAM Iconic Week. It's my special thanks to our ED sir, who had consented to attend this event despite his very hectic schedule, constantly a lot of meetings happening. And I am also thankful to each one of you. Special thanks to Mr. Saurabh. In fact, we had to keep on changing the schedule, and my special thanks to Mr. Manish also, who had to travel quite a distance from his office to reach the NPCA office, despite the fact that he had some accident was also there, which probably stalled his progress also. Thanks a lot for all the good presentation what was made by Mr. Thomar. And in fact, as our ED sir rightly pointed out, our special thanks to the entire field for having listened to the occasion, and right from the March, where we are around 60 lakhs in the registration of Indo Oasis, our mobile banking app, where we are now touching around 95 lakhs, and we have a target of 1 crore by the month end. And my special thanks to the field functionaries for having listened to the occasion, and each one of them have played a very major role in ensuring this we are able to achieve these numbers. And our ED sir had rightly pointed out the numbers, more than the numbers, it is how we convert those numbers into financial transactions. Mr. Thomar was talking about how the Indian demographic has evolved over a period of time in terms of the literacy level, in terms of the usage of mobile phones, how now more and more people have started using mobile phones despite being literate, semi-literate or literate. And the digital awareness programs which have been conducted not only by NPCI but by our bank has also ensured that there has been a massive explosion in the usage of the mobile phone based financial services. As Mr. Thomar has rightly told, the way 595, what I read in the paper yesterday was about 595, 595 crore of transactions have happened in the UPI last month, around 10.40 lakh crore financial transactions. There are about 26 crore unique users, some 5 lakh, 5 crores of, 5 lakh of 5 crore of merchants who onboarded into the UPI. Yesterday there was an announcement in the monetary policy that the credit card has to be, Rupee credit card has to be linked to the UPI as well. So UPI has been a virtual game changer. And today, going by the way the UPI is exploding, maybe we may have to think of alternate usage for our ATMs and also our our POS devices. So thank you, Mr. Thomar, for giving us a very good overview, in fact, a comprehensive overview on all the four videos are quite useful. In fact, we are thankful that we have been associated with NPCA and we have been able to reach to your expectation. And in fact, the e-rupee, what we are doing for the government of Haryana, in fact, we have successfully tested out in collaboration with the entire NPCI team, and my special thanks to each one of them for work day and night to ensure that the project was successful. We are going to roll it out shortly, and having to ensure that after a series of testing, everything has worked out well. Similarly, in the UPI Lite program, we have been doing this pilot for the NPCI, and going ahead, the other ones like your EPI 123, the other ones also will definitely be part of the iconic projects, so that we ensure that, as you rightly told, the customer will start using it as long as he is giving the convenience of auto pay, the convenience of payment, repeat payments, where the customer feels that is a simple. The techniques are simple. He did not have to bother much, and everything happens conveniently, securely. Given the, the cybercrime which is now, on the rise, this sort of payment methods will give a lot of confidence to the customer that he will be able to use it much more often and much more secured. In fact, most of the banks now are finding it difficult to manage the crowd at the branches. The footsteps of the branches are increasing, and the requirements are increasing. The governments starting the PMJDY program in the year 2014. Everybody has an account, be it an old age pensioner or be it your Narega payments. So entire landscape has changed. So mostly nobody is there today who doesn't have an account, and all the payments are happening through the accounts only. And definitely the way, in fact, last week we made the PM Kisan payments, which was quite huge in numbers. And now the government is looking at APS based payments as well. Apart from the account numbers, now it is based on the APS. That is, the Aadhaar number will be given, and the payments has to happen to the connected account numbers. So with this, definitely, as long as we don't create awareness among the public, we will not be able to manage the crowd. So over a period of time, we will have to again keep on creating a lot of financial awareness. Of course, there are bottlenecks. There are a lot of issues like the accounts not being operated. But over a period of time, I'm sure that when people start realizing the advantages, the accounts will start getting operative. Thank you once again, Mr. Saurabh, and I thank each one of all the participants who have been patient enough to listen to Mr. Thomas' excellent presentation. And once again, special thanks to each one of you. Thank you.
Once again, thank you, Mr. Saurav and Mr. Manish and all my colleagues here in the boardroom as well as in the field. Thank you again. With that, we conclude this program.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.